project time again, everybody. I got a 2010 F-150 5.4 liter in here, and I apologize, I didn't think about this until after I started, but I think I have a dead alternator. There's the hole for where it used to be. What I had happening, excuse me, was I'd start the truck and then a battery indicator would show up on the notification panel of the dash, not the battery light, but an actual indication of a battery shape on the information center. Maybe I'll insert a picture here of what I mean. What I did though is I took a multimeter across the battery terminals while the truck was running and found I only had 11.5 volts. Now with this thing spinning, I think it spins to the left. No, it spins to the right. It should be producing, I don't know, somewhere between 13 to 15 volts, I think. Normally 12 volts is really like 13 or 14. And like I said, with the truck running and with this spinning, I was getting 11.5. So I'm pretty certain this is dead. It's a super simple process to pull it out, actually. I was pretty intimidated about it, but it wasn't too bad. Here's my whole setup I have in the driveway. You just take the snorkel off. There's just 2 screws there, or a hose clamp there, and one over here. And this just fits in right there in that gap. I'll show you when I put it back together. Take that out. There are 4 bolts, 3 bolts and a stud. The studded one goes here. Be careful with that. Just know that it's not a bolt like these. And then so there's the threaded one, the stud, bolt, bolt, bolt. Those 4 fit right here. This is the stud one for reference, right there and right there. You do have to take the belt off. Here's your tensioner. I used a 1/2-inch ratchet and put some pressure on it. I was able to slide the belt off. So I'm gonna go get a new alternator, have this one tested. Probably get a new belt while I'm at it. Might as well replace that. It is showing some wear. You can see, I don't know if it'll show up, but there is some cracking on this. It feels pretty hard and it's awfully shiny on the back. So we're gonna do that and we'll come back and I'll definitely show you how to put it back together, as it's the exact same process as taking it out. So hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back now. We're a few $100s lighter, but we have a reman alternator. I was going to get the Motorcraft. O'Reilly's had a Motorcraft new one for $10 more than the reman. They didn't have it in stock though. They'd have to get it from the distribution center, and it only had, I think, a 1-year, 2-year warranty. This has a lifetime warranty. And then while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and replace this belt. I figured that'd be a good choice. Like I showed earlier, this one's a lot more supple. Doesn't seem to be nearly as worn down. So what we're gonna do here first, maybe I'll pull the belt out. We'll see when I get over there, see which one feels better to do. And then we'll just go ahead and slip this back together. I'm gonna pull these tags off. We'll read these warnings real quick. See what they have to tell me. Yep, the key is off. I don't know about the memory saver, but the battery's already disconnected, so we're done with that. I did take the alternator and had O'Reilly's test it, and it tested bad. So we have that. So it's none of these. Go to the belt here in a little bit. Worry about this here at the end, obviously. About starting it, and this is the same thing in Spanish. So I'm gonna get this camera set up over there at the truck, and we'll start moving. And I'll try to point out how I put this back as we get going. I'm not sure how much of that ended up on the camera, but I think I have the new belt routed. According to my diagram here, I couldn't get a good enough picture of it to show where they all were. So I went ahead and drew a diagram, and it appears to be routed the same way. I'm gonna have a terrible time adjusting this up to fit the new one, because the new alternator is gonna be up here. But this is a brand new belt, and so that's pretty much expected. So we're gonna go with putting the new alternator in now. So what I'm doing, actually let me take you off this real quick. What I was doing is looking to make sure that I had the belt in the correct grooves. Alright, sorry for all that. I was making sure I had the belt in the correct grooves and on the right marks there. Because, I can't see down there, like right here. The danger, if your belt is off, you'll see there's a lip. Maybe, hopefully you can see that on the other side of that belt, and you will shred that belt. You can see there. You can shred that belt if it's on the wrong spot. So I think we're looking good there. Now what we're going to do is put these electrical connections back on. Let's see if I can do that while I'm holding on to you guys. And then I'll have to get the tripod out again to put this snorkel back on. In the meantime, I would always suggest you take a picture of the way it was when you left it. Actually, I'm gonna get a piece of sandpaper and sand that real quick, but take a picture of the was before you took it off to avoid any issues. Unfortunately, I couldn't get one good picture of that belt run, so I took a few of them on my phone. I also did a very rudimentary belt diagram. There's apparently one printed somewhere in here on the truck. I didn't see it. Maybe it's an owner's manual. But let me get a piece of sandpaper real quick. Alright, so I have some really fine sandpaper here. It doesn't look too bad, honestly. We're going to just polish it up a little bit. So the stud back here where I'm putting the ground back on is a 12 millimeter, I believe. Yes, 12 millimeter. I believe it's all brass, so we're not going to go too tight, but just a little snug here. Yeah, that's snug. Snap this protective cover back on it. There's that. I push this stud back on, this one back on. Oh yeah, I gotta put the air in, and then we should be ready to give it a shot. So this will only go on one way. You'll see it just won't fit if you go the wrong way. So I'm gonna start in the back actually. So I understand if you get this loose or don't do it at all, you'll end up with a mass airflow sensor issue. I'm not really sure about that. We'll find out. And now we'll fire it up and see what happens. Well, I didn't record any of that. All I did was put the clamp back on the battery post there for the negative, and then tighten it back up. That is an 8 millimeter. Nope, it's an 8 millimeter though, right here. One thing I was saying is whenever I do this, I make sure that I'm not touching the metal parts of the truck. This is the ground cable, this is the ground post, this is also the ground of your vehicle. So what you don't want to do while you're doing this is be touching this while you're touching that, and you became the cable. And there is a lot of angry pixies in these things. So just be careful of doing that. So we're gonna get this cranked up now, and hopefully I didn't destroy the truck. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So that's promising. Belt seems to be intact. I'm gonna get out the multimeter and check the battery post here. So I see the refresh rate is thrown off the camera here, but see that says tire pressure monitor fault, and then it'll say driver door ajar. Right where that picture of the truck is, and to the right of those words is where I had a battery icon before, and it dinged, I don't know, like 6 times at me in a row. So I was very upset. It has not done that yet. We're gonna come out here with the multimeter. We'll see how we do. Alright, we're going to do this free-handed, so I apologize if it's shaky. I have it set on DC volts. It's just messing around right now because it's on auto detect. I'm going to pull the positive part away. I know it's very corroded. This battery is, it says 9 of 19 down there. Today is no, it's November 30th of 25, so it's a pretty old battery as well. Here we go. Let's see how many volts we should have. We should have between 12 and 14, somewhere in there. Let's see. 14.6. That's looking good. Excellent. Excellent. Now, I think I've covered this before, but your battery's not actually 12 volts. Or your vehicle's not around 12 volts. It's actually run on higher voltage than that. So the fact that it's 14.5 is pretty good. The battery needs higher voltage to charge up to 12 volts, especially when mine's as low as it is. So we're chugging along. No more squeaks, no more squeals. Must have been the bearing of the old alternator. And things looking alright. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.